Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? Monday, Labor Day Monday. Now, I'm only on here for a few minutes because I realize that today is a holiday for us in Canada and United States as well. And I don't know about other parts of the country, but I simply wanted to come and talk a little bit about self-marketing today. My name is Linda. I'm your back in the groove again coach, and I help you, or primarily women, to discover or rediscover a job that they love or their ideal career. So today I want to talk a little bit about self-marketing. So first of all, what is self-marketing? Well, self-marketing is essentially making you stand out. So it's actually being aware of the skills, the abilities that you have, and making you sound different and be different than anybody else that you might be competing against for the same job. So this requires you to really know what makes you different, right? What makes you special in what you do, how you do what you do that's different than anybody else. And so it means, hello, may I ask who's watching? May I ask who's viewing today on Labor Day? So when you're thinking of self-marketing and of branding yourself, it means that you really need to know what skills you own and what skills make you so different, so unique than anybody else. So that's how I want you to start thinking. What makes you different, unique, no matter what type of position you have, whether you're a business person or you have your own independent business, or you're applying for a job at Wendy's, or you're, applying for an exec position. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because each one of us, we're all unique in our own ways, and we all do things in our own very special way that is very, very different than anybody else. So you have to start thinking, okay, what makes me different? Because, cutting a resume or doing a resume the same old way that you've done it before is not going to work, because there's a lot more competition now, and especially with social media. There are people that are using social media to market themselves, and that is one of the techniques that I'm going to recommend, that you actually use. I've talked about LinkedIn before, such as Facebook, to market you and what makes you unique, especially if you're looking for work, right? Especially if you're looking for work. Hello, Shadir. How are you? Nice of you to join. Thank you for being here. So I am talking a little bit about self-marketing today, especially if you're looking for work or you're wanting to stand out with all the other business people, if you are into businesses. And of course, another way, I've talked about using social media, but another way is by using testimonials. Now, you might think, well, yeah, but businesses use testimonials. You're right. Businesses do use testimonials to stand out. And this is the reframing that I want you to think about is, you are a business, all right? Hi, Julianne. Thank you. So I want you to be thinking like that. You are a business, and that idea came to me. Well, it wasn't a brand new idea. It was something I heard about a few years ago, of this personal branding and how you are, in a sense, a business, and you are selling your services to businesses or to nonprofit organizations or to whoever your employer is. And so testimonials is not just for companies anymore, rabid fans, but they're also for maybe people that you worked for, employers you worked for, colleagues you worked for. And let's pretend that you're in sales, satisfied customers, right? So you might have to start asking people for testimonials. Now, I know on LinkedIn, there's a you can ask people for recommendations on LinkedIn. So I encourage you to consider that if you are on LinkedIn, ask people in your network, people that know you, of course, to either um, share a recommendation, and that could be a past client, a current client, previous employer, doesn't matter. Just think about who would be able to recommend you, recommend your services, and maybe even say something that was different about you, special about you. Maybe you did things very remarkable compared to somebody else who might have had the same job, for example, right? So start thinking about that, how you could market yourself, self-marketing, self-branding. And of course, I'm just reading here some tips for self-marketing. Another way that they're suggesting is to use a gravatar or an avatar, but a gravatar is more of a globally recognized avatar. And a lot of people, I've even started doing that on Facebook. It's so cute. It's so cool. Um, you could actually design a gravatar or an avatar that looks like you. I have one that has grayish hair, about the same length of hair, and glasses. It's kind of cool. A lot of people are doing that so that when they see that specific image, that gravatar, they recognize you already. Just like, any other branding image that is known for companies, well, you want to start thinking along those lines as well. So using a gravatar. And one more thing I'm going to say is to make a case for yourself. Now, you want to include information on maybe your personal website or on your Facebook. Of course, LinkedIn is used for professional websites, for professional marketing and networking. But um, with Facebook, you can also craft a little line, a sentence that describes you. For example, people can have mission statements, personal mission statements, personal visions. So I want you to be thinking along those lines so that you can start marketing yourself. And of course, as a career coach, this is the type of work that I help my clients uh, come to think about themselves as how can my clients market themselves? How can they make themselves different? And of course, once you've identified what makes you different, then your resume is going to look different too. I'm going to share an example, not of a resume, but I found this very interesting. It's a self-marketing plan. Give me 1 second. I want to set this up. I'm hoping I could do this. I'm going to share a document with you. There, okay. So I'm going to share this document with you. I hope you could see this. You could see on this sample of a personal marketing plan that there are different sections. Now, this is not a resume. You're not going to be sending this to companies, right? This is an example of a personal marketing plan where you have at the top target functions. In other words, target job postings, top target job titles. You also have a responsibility. So what are your responsibilities or your ideal responsibilities? Here's target companies. So you also have your personal attributes and your target companies. Where are they located? And here I might even say describing the size of those companies as well. And of course, target industries here, consumer products, pharmaceutical, food and beverages. So this personal marketing plan, which is really, really beneficial, helps you to focus on your job search, right? And this is, of course, when you work with a career coach, this is part of what we do. Part of what I do, and especially if you don't know what direction you want to go into, if you don't know, maybe you're in a job now and you don't like it and you really want to make changes, but you don't know what you want to do, here's how I work with you. Well, first we start by developing an idea of what your interests are, what your strengths are, what your talents are. You need to really bring that up to surface, because a lot of times we don't really think we're good at something. And there might be more than just one thing that you're good at. And I've shared on a live about that before. So you want to start with really knowing who you are in terms of the services, the skills, the interests you have. And this could be personal interest, and it could also be professional interest, because sometimes our personal interests can lead to jobs or careers that we never even thought of, right? So you want to start thinking about that. This is what we would be doing together. And then once you have an idea of your strengths and skills and talents and so on, then I would ask you to complete some assessments, because I think assessments are impartial, they're objective. And one of the assessments that I use a couple of them, but the Myers-Briggs personality preference, Myers-Briggs type indicator, will match your personality preference with career options. And then we discuss the results of these assessments. And there's a lot of other assessments too, so that you could see, well, maybe it's worth exploring, or no, not at all. So there's that matching your interest with possible careers. And then there's really the exploration piece, where you start narrowing down the possibilities of careers and start doing more research, so that you can identify one, maybe two career options. Once you've identified those career options, then it's a little bit more work to start noticing, or I should say identifying, those employers, those companies, just like what I was showing in the self-marketing plan, those companies that you're going to start targeting. And this is where LinkedIn really is helpful as well. And of course, once you've identified those companies, we've worked together all along, then you need to start working on your resume, because if you are switching careers, then you got to rethink of how you're going to personally brand yourself on your resume. You might have to do a whole new resume altogether, right? And then, of course, once you've got your resume, then you're going to start sending it out to those potential employers. And of course, you're going to want to prepare for an interview. And if you've never uh, been interviewed for these types of positions, then of course having a mock interview will be very beneficial. So that's how I work with my clients. Now, some of my clients do want to reinvent themselves and would go through the entire process, but some of my clients might not need to reinvent themselves. And that's why having a meeting, a strategic planning meeting or session, is going to be very helpful, so that we can decide how we're going to work together. So that's a little bit about my services, and how having this self-marketing plan will come in place at some point. I hope that was helpful to you. I know I still have somebody watching. Do you have any questions at all? Whoever's watching me right now, any questions or comments on what I've mentioned today? Any questions or comments at all? Thank you for watching. Please add your comments below the live. I will see them, I will review them, and I will answer any questions. And I'm also going to add a link after our live to a series, a video series. If you're wanting to discover your ideal career, you need a little bit of support on that initially before you decide to work with a coach, this video series will be very helpful. So I'll add the link to the message, to the live below, so that you can get a copy of my 5 secrets to discover your ideal career. All right, that's it. If there's any questions, add them to the comments below. Right, right now I use the, thank you, Anna, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. MBTI is one that I use. And I also use the Strong's, and I don't have the full name of that. The Strong's one, I can't remember the full name of it, Anna. The Strong one uh, is based on the Hollands. I don't know if you're familiar with the Hollands as well. Hollands looks at different personality styles as well. So the Hollands is a tool that looks at personality and characteristics, and the Strong's is based on that. And I also am exploring another one right now called the People Map. I'm exploring that one to see how beneficial it would be for my clients as well. All right. Thank you again for being here. Thanks, Anna, for asking that question. And have a great day. Have a good Labor Day in Canada and US. It's Labor Day weekend, so it's a day off. So I'm now going to end this broadcast. And if you do have questions, please do add them to the comment section, and I'll respond to them. And I'm also going to add the link to my series as well. All right, everybody, have a great day. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Have a good one, Anna. And I saw your posting about your trip next Saturday, the hot air balloon trip. That's so exciting. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see pictures. All right. Bye, everybody. See you soon.